Tuchel's England have shown some glimpse of what he intends to do with their vertical progression through half spaces and quick combination plays in tight spaces. Still, they lack certain elements to work like a flawless machine. Let's see why England is easy to defend and what the potential solutions are. Tuchel's standard 4-4-2 shape mainly relies on the dropping movement of the forwards. Either the striker or the attacking midfielder may drop into the pockets to help in build-up. So the England structure is a hybrid of 4-2-3-1 and 4-4-2, and their main intention is the progression through half spaces. As the pivots are central, it will obviously free up the half space and it will be attacked by the droppers. The fullback will pin the opposition's wide midfielder while the winger pins the fullback. It's a pretty basic setup and the idea is to then attack the space left by the jumping centre back. But this pattern has become very common and the defending teams counter it by aggressive pressing on the dropping player while closing down all his progressive passing options. This often forces England to go back to the keeper, but this isn't the only problem, rather a part of the bigger picture. So here the ball was shifted to the right, and again the press was bypassed by dropping the attacking midfielder. It was a good penetrative pass to bypass three players, and the pivot was available as an immediate option for the attacking midfielder. England couldn't execute this pattern earlier as it was too predictable from Chalobah, but this time they succeeded due to a more creative pass from Colville in a tight space. This looks like a rehearsed pattern and is common in these formations, but the real problem occurs when they have the ball in the middle third. Their centre back and midfielders lack both technical quality and tactical intelligence to consistently break down defensive blocks. I will just point out a single occurrence where Rice dropped, pushing the left back wide and dragging a marker with him. This left a space open for SA to exploit. Opposition feels threatened and the left-sided forward moved to right to close down SA. This will obviously free up Gallagher and it's a good idea to play him now. Though Rice played the pass, it was poorly timed and Gallagher couldn't do anything. Rice played in such an angle due to the threat of striker intercepting a diagonal pass to Gallagher's right foot. What he could have done better was to play it back to the centre back. This will force the striker to jump and it will open a clear passing lane to Gallagher. If opposition decides to close him down, still Gallagher could use the centre back to play a third man pass to the dropping striker. And this means England striker have the ball closer to the final third against an exposed backline with two runners on both sides. Here the pass was poor and Gallagher played it back as he is in someone who prefers to beat the pressure by smart turns. Still they can play it to the striker or the inverted winger, provided some conditions are met. But the problem was the poor weight and angle of pass from Gallagher as it forced Chalobah to stretch for the ball and cancelled out any chance of a first touch pass. This extra step from Chalobah made it easy for the opposition to close down both Kane and Saka. So it's basically meaningless passes between the centre backs without any real intent to progress. The player seems well positioned and it is to give ample time and space for the centre backs to dictate the game. But centre backs becomes helpless as there is no any sort of dynamic positional rotations from attackers to create something. Even if they somehow got a chance to play through, the centre backs mostly hopes to play it safe. Here Colville could have easily played to SA and it could be a dangerous situation against an open backline. As the sequence progressed, the ball was played back to keeper. Now there is a large gap visible. It could have been quickly exploited by Gallagher dropping, but he decided to stay high. If he opted for it, most probably a marker will follow him. It could have opened up space for Kane to drop into, and Tuchel's tactical intention of using the dropping forward in the build-up could have been fulfilled. But what happened is Gallagher made predictable movements, making it easier to mark him, and centre-backs had no choice rather than fall into wide pressing trap. These two sequences were enough to show the problems with England, and it proved the inability of England's deep players to properly execute a build-up. Tuchel will definitely improve this and he need to field better players to implement this game model. Thanks for watching and if you loved the video, please leave a like and subscribe for more.